Morning, everyone. We are into our fourth round of our Fondo structured training, or our big ride. Somebody was saying something about that the other day. What's the distance of a Fondo? Or I can't remember exactly what the question was, but Gran Fondo is big ride. They've been going on in Europe for a long time. They started out as quite a casual mass event where you stopped at the aid stations, you had a good lunch, all those kinds of things. But like so many other things, we've turned them into a bit of a race, or at least there's an option to race. So that is a development over more recent times. Now we've done just warming up easy. Everybody knows you've rolled out at somewhere, if you've been on the bike a little while, maybe you're already at about a 5 out of 10 or 50% of your MAP, max aerobic power. That is really just starting to get into zone 2 if you use heart rates, so very low endurance pace, and just get a comfortable cadence going. We're going to be doing a climbing-based workout today. So we've touched on a few things. Starts of events or big rides. We did crux points. We did those endless pace lines that you find yourself in when you're with a posse out there on the road. Today, we're going to go into a succession of hills and starting long, decreasing in length, but also they're going to increase a little bit in effort. We're going to learn to go into them at a controlled pace and build throughout. So it's something that sometimes is foreign to newer riders. I've been helping you learn to do a little bit of that for a long time now. Different way of thinking about climbs. And I will assure you all that even at the highest level of racing, when you look at a course profile, the things you write down, and you've probably seen this sometimes where someone writes down the notes on a stem, good old school cues for yourself. One of the things that every rider is going to take note of is where a climb starts, if it's a climb of any significance, and where it ends. That might be A, it's your strength. It's a place you're going to try and make a move, or you know a move is going to be made. B, you're terrified of hills. You want to make sure that you're prepared for it, that you're in as good a position as you can. And also, there is that concept of having a bit of sliding space. If you can move up in a group towards the beginning of the climb, hold your spot a little bit. If you're not, if climbing isn't your strongest suit, then it allows you to slide back a little bit through the group and still stay with the group. Because if you start at the back, you're not a great climber, you're off the back a lot faster than if you start in a better position and then you have even still a little bit of draft. Okay? All right. From your 50%, 50 to 60, your choice. You're at a comfortable cadence, and I'm going to have you just bring that cadence up to 100. If you're hovering around 90, 95 like I am, we're going to bring it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is decrease our cadence, bring in a little bit more gear each time, just to get that recruitment of the bigger muscles, get into a climbing mode. We're not doing pure strength efforts today. They are meant to be efficient climbing cadence. So we'll be doing these 75 to 85 RPM. Right now, 100 cadence. I'm going to have you drop to a 90. Okay? When you drop your cadence, give it a little bit more gear so that you come back up 50, 60%, wherever you've chosen to be for right now. In 2, 1, 90 cadence. Slow the leg speed just a little bit. Bring that gear in to compensate, or using your app. Settle in. We're starting these climbs at a very manageable rate. As I say, going into them controlled, comfortably uncomfortable maybe, still fairly comfortable for the longest part. Then we'll keep increasing without a break. Okay? So that's the menu. Holding at this 90 cadence. We're going to drop again, down to 80. Keeping that force, resistance in that 50 to 60% of MAP, or around zone 2, if that's where you're measuring with heart rate. Okay? And bring it down, 80 RPM. 80 RPM. Job, guys. Bring the gear up, or adjust with your app. And feel the change. 20 RPM difference. Feel that change in the extra recruitment of your muscles. Awesome. While you're here as well, reminders, relax your face. Bring your shoulders down. Relax your arms. Give them a wiggle. Hands. If you're on long climbs somewhere, you want to have a bunch of coping strategies, especially if you end up doing long ones in Europe or somewhere where there are long ones. We actually do have them here, of course, in Vancouver. But you want to find ways to change up things, get comfortable, and keep yourself engaged. All right, you're going to come down one more time, 70 RPM. In 2, 1, 70. A little bit lower cadence than we'll be using today in the hills. But let's just feel it. Bring that gear in. $50 to 60%. And then while we're here, this time, I'm going to have you bring the gear up. If you're 50 to 60%, bring it up to 60 right now. 60 effort. Still endurance pace. Still not in that zone 3. If we work on a 5-zone scale, and still just in that endurance kind of pace. Okay? Relax. Now we are going to lift it. Effort's going to come up. 7 out of 10, 70%. Somewhere getting out of that zone 2, holding the cadence. 70 cadence. Bring up the gear. 2, 1, 7s all around. Okay? Stay with those 7s. 70 RPM, 70% effort. Going to be doing this a lot, but at a little higher cadence. Hold on for me. We'll do one more. Little increase. All right, bring up your gear for me, just a little bit, whatever you feel like you need to get that last bit of warmth in your legs. 10 watts, 20 watts, in 2, 1, here we go. This is just the last 20 to 30 seconds, then we're going back to relaxing. You want to do a little bit of standing. That's going to be your choice today as well. That does give you one of the many breaks you can recruit while you're holding the power. 15 seconds. Back down. Finish it off. Last 10. Awesome job, guys. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Close to your hour power. 2, 1, and back off the gear. Back off the gear. Bring the cadence up. Recover, recover. So as I said, no matter what level we're at, all but the most enthusiastic, spectacular climbers, and we all have some friends that are more like that than us, get excited when the road tips up. But for most of us, we want to be aware it's going to happen. It's worth, when you're perusing a ride or a course you're going to do, it's worth it to take note of where the bigger hills are mentally. Where's the beginning? Where's the end? Okay? Our first hill is going to be 10 minutes in duration. It's the longest one, but it's also starting a little bit more mellow than well, they all start fairly mellow, but we're transitioning a little more quickly into harder efforts or output in the second one and the third one. 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay? This first hill, 75 to 85 RPM. I would like you to be towards the top of that, somewhere around 80, but a crisp climbing cadence, wherever you feel you're the most efficient when you're on a bit of a grade, and let's say the grade is somewhere around 5-ish%. Think of that as a bit of a drag. You're probably not in your easiest gear by a long stretch, but you're certainly in your easier gears. And for us here, perfect example is Cypress Mountain, of course. Callahan has some good parts in Whistler. Wherever you are, you'll have lots of 5% grades. But we're going to start out at 70% for 4 minutes. Okay? And that's like our comfortable base building into this whole hill. So we are going to start finding our cadence of 75 to 85 RPM. We're going to find that 70%. I did make a playlist, the Fondo playlist. If you're using that, you're using your own, find something that'll help you up a 10-minute climb. I would be on song number 7, Gold on the Ceiling, Black Keys, to start this effort. Have a drink of water. Now remember, we're thinking of positioning. We know the hill is coming up. We want to be forward in our group. That doesn't mean the same as being on the front. Forward in our group. And here we go in 10 seconds. All right? 75 to 85 RPM, 70%. 10 minutes starting now. 4 minutes starting in 2, 1. And settle in. 4 minutes at your 70%. Lots of us find it hard to keep in control at the bottom of some of these hills. Everybody, you know, probably someone likes to just jump on the pedals at the bottom of a long hill, but we're trying to go with that push into it without blowing any unnecessary, unwelcome lactate into the legs. Is enough of that, just doing the hill, just doing the effort. I'm riding just around 85 RPM, like a little higher cadence. Try and do that. But also for myself, I do like to push a bit of gear. So I won't opt to go into a super, super easy gear on something like this. I'll try and maintain a cadence where I feel the most efficient. If the gear starts to feel too big, if it feels a little big, try and go with it. If it feels too big, clicking one down. Okay, you've already done 1.5 minutes. Awesome job. Eyes up. Play that little game, picking things to look at, people to look at, things ahead of you. Not the ground, not down at your front wheel. All bad habits. Almost halfway. Here you go. Just about halfway, 70%. What is that? We all know it's getting close to our FTP. It's in that range. Getting into zone 3, pushing up and out of it towards the end of this climb. Awesome job, guys. Awesome job. When, get 1 minute to go, recollect your thoughts, knowing you have a 3-minute segment where either the pace is picking up or it's a tiny bit steeper. I'm going to say the pace is picking up, and you're going to go with that. And what's the other thing? I try and remind you, don't project to the top when you're at the bottom, okay? Think about it, pedal stroke by pedal stroke. That's why I say pick points, or maybe your group is coming up on some other riders. Some of them are coming back to you. That always makes you feel good. Doesn't make them feel very good. But it's a thing. Happens to us at both ends. Sometimes with a hammer, sometimes with a nail. Okay? 30 seconds, and you're going to be making that change. 75% is our next piece of business. 3 minutes. Holding the cadence. Mentally, the hardest of all of these that we'll do, because it's longer, at least for me. That's what I find. I like those 2-3 minute efforts. All right? We're not having a break. We're bringing up the effort. 75%. And it's coming in 5. Hold your cadence. 2, 1. Here we go. A little bit harder. 3 minutes. Awesome job. Awesome job. You feel that next bit come into your legs. Welcome it. A little hard to do, right? But welcome it. Embrace it. Love to push. Love to push. Hammering that nail. Almost a minute. Already. Once we've done this part, we've only got a 2 and a 1. I'm gonna break it up like that. I'm getting a little excited. My cadence popped up a little hard. I'm gonna bring it down again a bit. Awesome job, guys. If you want to stand, it's gonna help you change it up. By all means, few pedal strokes. Stay in control. I'm gonna do it. Nice bit of change, recovery. We're halfway through this 3. Don't let the shoulders bunch up. Eyes up. Don't worry about the power numbers. Just go with the feeling. Back down. Taking your bicycle with you nicely. Not throwing it into people behind you. Awesome job, everyone. Focus. Focus. 1 minute. Then it's going to get hard. It's already hard, you say. Yeah, I know. Like I say, go with it. Pick on the positives. You're getting to be a better climber. Not as hard as I thought. Getting close to the top. I'm keeping up with the group easily. All of those things. All of those positive things you can tell yourself. Okay, coming up to a minute. Coming up to a minute. Breathe, chest open, light hands, change up your hand position. You're gonna be increasing in less than a minute. Awesome, guys. Awesome job. Let your ankles move. Pressure stays positive. 30 seconds. Riding across Scotland. This is going to pay off. Lots of these. Looking for the good part of the road, like always. If you're in Jolly Old or many other places, a little bit of road work, not quite like we get in North America. Here we go. 2, 1, hold the cadence, a little bit more gear, 80%, okay? Quite hard. The pace is picked up, but you made it all this way. Awesome job. Awesome job. Eyes up, remember. Trying to keep your center stable. Let that core do the work to help your forward momentum. So good, guys. One more minute like this. Then one big push. Think you can. Think you can. Hold that cadence. Feel the hamstrings driving or pulling. Quads are driving, hamstrings pulling. Feet up and around through that circle. I'm going to get on top of this again, just a little bit. Your choice. This is a style thing. Works for you. It doesn't. Just make sure you develop it so you can, if and when you need it. We are coming to our last minute. Whatever you can do, just a little bit more oomph. A little bit more, okay? Up and over the top here. In 2, 1, come on. 60 seconds. 80% plus a bit. Come on. Drive it. Only 60 seconds. Only 45 now. Push, push. Bring those shoulders down. Good. Come on. Eyes up. 30 seconds. Come on. Take it through the finish of this one. So good, guys. Come on. Push. Push. Eye on the prize. Right there. 15 seconds. Come on. Come on. Last 10. You got this. You got this. In 3, 2, 1. Whew. Easy. Recover. Recover. freewheel a bit. Soft pedal. Keep the legs going so they're getting a bit of extra recovery. So steady build. We always underestimate, I think, until we've done it a lot, practiced it a lot, what going in to the base of a long hill too hot feels like halfway up. Want to learn what we can do. Want to make adjustments as we get better. But basically, knowing you're in control at the bottom, staying there, holding the cadence, because what else happens? The other thing that happens is we bog down, start messing around with gears. What happens when you mess around with your gears a lot? On the climb. Bikes like this, right? Wasted effort. Little subtle changes. Think about it being a technical exercise as well. How well can you manage your gearing every time you hit a hill? And it's going to be different when it's a short little roller versus a long grade. Is the grade gentle enough at the bottom that you may actually be in your big chain ring? You're with a group, your turnover is at a nice cadence. And so I want to start thinking about all these things when you're training, when you're practicing, and then apply them accordingly. Sometimes a new addition to your repertoire will be huge improvement. Sometimes you go, huh, what was I thinking? But the point is, it's not really such thing as a mistake as long as you don't keep doing the same dumb thing over and over again. If you make a mistake and it's like, whew, well that didn't work, then you know not to do it again. If you're with that person who always jams their gears because they can't figure it out towards the entry of a hill, you know they always do that, you're probably not going to want to be around them either. Okay, 7 minutes, here we go. Have a drink, don't forget that. We're right here, 3 minutes, 70% again. Nice and easy in the beginning, but we're spending a bit more time and more quickly with it getting harder. 75 to 85 cadence, 2, 1, here we go. Practicing the bottom, practicing control. We're breathing. Really good opportunity. Think about what your feet are doing. I talk about that a lot. I think about my feet. It's where my contact with the bike is really important. It's my power transfer to the pedals, to the bike. Let my ankles move. And how are my circles? You don't want to be too toe down or too heel down. Just a neutral foot position. And you may tend towards a bit more of one or the other. Don't try and overcorrect. Just focus on keeping that 360 degrees as perfect as you can. Keep doing that single leg drill. Okay, that's a minute already. So a minute at the bottom of the 7-minute hill. Heart rate wise, you're under your hour power. You're just under by about 5%. Most of you, shoulders down, relax. Halfway through. Halfway through, we're going to be here. 2 minutes coming up. This time, the top is getting harder. Don't think about that yet. But that's why this hill will have a bit more challenge for the second half. Hold it right here. You're at that 70%. We're going up to hour power in 1 minute. Awesome job, everyone. Climbing strategies, positive thinking. One of our favorite Coaches here at TaG, bit of a classics built rider, not exactly tiny little whip of a thing. Used to race courses that had big hills. Said, yeah, I just was told, think like a cloud, light and airy, but is a ton about visualization and climbing. Training, yes. Mental focus, yes. And visualization, absolutely. You're changing now. 2 minutes at 75%. In 3, 2, 1. Hold the cadence. This is going to make the last 3 minutes hard. Awesome job, guys. I think I lied. This isn't 7 minutes. It's 8. You've already done half a minute here, though. Okay? Already done half a minute here. Come on, guys. Knees up. Drive up. Power down. Power through. And back up on the back. 1 minute already. 1 minute to go. Then we got to hunker down. Then the pace is coming up quite a bit at the end. Start visualizing all those times you felt so good on a hill. You know those days that come at you like a little Christmas present. Oh my goodness, I'm a climber. And a week later, you're like, oh, I thought I was. Nah, build on those positives. I know grades I don't like, but I tend to think about them as my little challenger. Oh, we're going over 8%. All right, Lesley, you gotta put your big girl hat on and take this on now. 8% ain't gonna get you. All right, 2 minutes, 85%. 2, 1, come on, guys. I promise it was gonna get harder at the top. Awesome. Stay with this. See the number. Look away. Go by feel. Come on, you've got this. Ankles moving. Strong through the feet. Just levitating that bike. So good, guys. Come on. 1 minute down. You feel like you're bogging down at all? Get on top of it. A few pedal strokes. Back down. Learn to have that feel good as a tool. Okay, guys. A little longer. Then 1 big, hard minute to the top. You've got this in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Here we go, guys. Really good. You ready? You can see that line. Not far away. 250 meters maybe. Pace is gonna pick up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Come on. Up, 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 up. Cadence or gear. It's fine. All good. Push it. Come on. 45. 45. Coming up to that magical 30. It's right there. I'm gonna get on top of it again. A little bit. 30 to go. Come on. All the way. This is where you build all that extra confidence. Confidence. 15 seconds. Come on. Last little bit. 10. All the way, guys. Come on. 5, 3, 2. Easy. 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 Recover. Okay. One more. This one will be 5 minutes. 2, 75%. Then 3 minutes, we get a little harder each one. Shorter hill. Maybe you already predicted this was going to be harder when you saw it on the profile of your event. Nice and light right now. That's a minute of recovery. You have 2 more. What did you do well? What can you do better? Awesome job. Almost halfway in our recovery. Always use this wisely. Think about that when you're out on a big ride. You know there's a recovery period. You've looked at the terrain. Again, we used to have to, in road, you have feed zones, and you know where you're going to get a chance to grab something. Then you're looking at where you can actually take it in. Sometimes it's right away. Sometimes you might have to wait a little bit. Mountain bike, it's a lot more complicated, and off-road, very, very little opportunity to take anything in. But anytime that you know there's a bit of recovery, flat terrain, or the effort has quietened down with the group around you, you take advantage of that. You get something in. Okay? Let's do that right now. Regrouping. And one of the things I've mentioned how I never felt like a super strong climber when I was with my peers. Pretty okay climber, but I do know that once you let go too close to the end of a climb and then you're gone and you think, oh, if I could have held on for another 150 meters, that's all I needed. Those lessons stay in here. Let's practice the last one. 5 minutes, 75 to 85 cadence, 75%, 2, 1, 2 minutes is the first part. Okay, hold that cadence. You've done this a few times now. Really good, guys, come on. This is the end of our 3 hard hills. But like I said, don't get ahead of yourself. Think about this one now. You've done almost 30 seconds, 75%. That's your hour power. Meaning, you feel like you could ride like this at this effort for an hour if you were asking it of your body and your head. But it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. This is where we're definitely pushing the heart rate up. And we have 3 minutes after this next minute where we're going to keep every minute a little bit more. Okay? This is the hard last hill. We can get our heads around it. It's short. Hold on to the cadence. Hold on to the cadence. Really good, guys. I'm gonna have another sip of water while I can still breathe. Good job, everyone. Okay, eyes on the prize now. No real letting up after the next change in 20 seconds. I'll give you the cues, but you work on your climbing strategies. 10 seconds, okay? Right up to 80% for 1 minute in 5. Keep that turnover. In 2, 1. Come on, guys. 1 minute 80. Not doing it by cadence. Pushing up the resistance, pushing up the gear. Holding somewhere around an 80 RPM, give or take. Awesome, guys. Come on. This is your last interval on your hometown hill, or last hill in a big day out on your big ride. Come on, guys. Force. This is force, strength, anything you want to put it down to. Holding the turnover. And now, last hard 2 minutes. This minute, 85%. In 2, 1, come on. We're down to the end. We're down to the end. 30 seconds at a time. Push. Push. Start to bog down, you know what to do. Nice, Sally. Awesome. Hold the wattage, the effort, the force. Come on, guys. We're coming up to our last minute. It's whatever you can give me at the end. Come on, everyone. Fierce. Get a little fierce. Get a little growl. All right. 3, 2, 60 seconds. Over your 85. Come on. All the way. 15 seconds at a time now. Come on, guys. 15 is done. 45 to go, come on. Come on, guys. Almost at 30. Almost at 30. 30. Come on. Pick up the cadence. Pick up the cadence. Last little bit now. 15. Here we go. Drive for the line. 10. Come on. Push it all the way. 5. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Recover. Good job. Now smile, because it's done. Okay. Nice little bit of work, everyone. Good one. To you all. Becoming a better climber. Probably what we hear from more people than anything else. Personally, I think it's really hard to become better on the flats as well. But once you learn to conquer your fear of climbing, or your trepidation, and once you give yourself some good experiences, give yourself, right? Then you can carry that forward. Carry that forward. And you'll probably be surprised at what you can do. But some of it is technical. Some of it, positioning yourself, thinking, oh, this is a long climb. It's this grade. I need a bit of room. I might come back through the group a little bit. Works. It works. Sometimes, many years ago, breakaway, I was with a hard group over in Europe and was just about dropped off the breakaway on this one circuit climb. And my teammate said to me, next time, go to the front. I'm like, what? I'm already getting dropped. Why would I do that? What a stupid idea. She goes, you'll just see. She has way more experience than me. And sure enough, I went to the front. I could set a pace I could do, and nobody came by me. I was like, oh, well, how about that? And that's one thing to remember is usually on a climb, everybody's hurting. There's not very many people around you that aren't. So it's just what you can do to cope with it, deal with it, and become better at it. Okay, thank you everybody. Back in another next session for this one. That's a wrap.